when and how did the story begin for Letters Sent Home?
We started kind of as we started out kind of as friends making music together in 2015. Um, we were different people then. It was just Lara, Robin, and me. So the bassist, the guitarist, and me, and then other people as well who played like the keyboard and whatever, just other people as well. And then starting in I think 2018, we wanted to take it more seriously, and we started writing our own music. Beforehand, we were only doing like covers and I don't know, playing at like I don't know, weddings or birthdays, stuff like that. Um, yeah, so we started writing our own music in 2018. That's also when Luis, our drummer, joined us. And yeah, we started writing and releasing music, but then in 2020, COVID hit. So that was kind of a setback. We were supposed to release an EP and tour a bunch, but like all the shows were canceled, and we had to like push our release date for the EP back a bit. It wasn't too bad, but yeah. So like concerts and shows and everything kind of went on hold for a bit. Yeah, but then in I don't know, I think 2022 we started to actually like play a lot live, um, all over Europe, which is really exciting. Um, yeah, that's the short story, I guess.
How would you describe the music of Letters Sent Home in your own words? And maybe how did it evolve from the 2018 to now when you started to taking things more seriously?
I find it always extremely hard to describe our music because we have so many different influences, and every song kind of sounds a bit different. There are songs like Ignorance, who are like pop rock, or like September 129, which is kind of like pop punk. And then there's like Elements or Sadists, which are like songs heavily influenced by like electronics and like techno, whatever. Um, and then also some metalcore influence and everything. So I would always describe our music as like really emotional, always kind of melodic, and personal. I talk a lot about like really personal stuff in the lyrics. And yeah, how did it evolve from 2018? I think in 2018 we were kind of focused on this whole like metalcore thing, because like we grew up, or not grew up, but like back then we listened to a lot of metalcore. Like that was our home. That was what we loved. So we wanted to do that as well. But I think we learned that we have stronger, like, I don't know, we have stronger influences, and we have more to offer than that. Not that I still love metalcore, I still listen to a lot of it. But like we realized that maybe that's not what we want to do. So we kind of freed ourselves from that mindset, and said to ourselves like, okay, let's not like write music that we think uh like I don't know, the metalcore fans would like, but let's just write music that we think will be cool and that we kind of want to write right now. Um, so we kind of, you know, went away from that metalcore thing. We still have some metal influences in our music, definitely. Especially like with the recent two releases, Bloom and A Wife of Horror. Those are like definitely metal influenced, and we still love that. It's just that we don't only want to do that. Like back then, that was the only area we knew. There was like all the bands we knew were metalcore and everything, and now we toured with like so many different kind of bands. We toured with pop rock bands and pop punk bands and metalcore bands and everything. So we like that we're not stuck to like one genre. Um, And I think that's the biggest development that we freed ourselves from that mindset. Yeah.
You said that you sing about personal things. Does Letters Sent Home also have a message that you want to convey, and what is that message?
That's an interesting question. I think in the beginning, it was like our music was centered around like mental health a lot, like mainly actually. I was talking a lot about like depression, anxiety, stuff like that. And I think that was our main focus in music and in like presenting ourselves. But that kind of has changed with the album that we put out last year because I realized, hey, it is still such an important topic, and I admire everyone who's open to talk about it. Um, but I was kind of done talking about it because I figured like, okay, I talked about it so much, so much, and it has always helped me a bit to write those lyrics, but it hasn't really changed anything. So I was like, hey, okay, come on, let's move away from everything is like everything sucks and like I'm so depressed. Let's move away from that and let's focus on different things on music because like there's so many different um I don't know, different levels and different stories um, that I want to talk about. So we kind of moved away from that, but I think that's still definitely part of our identity a lot. Yeah.
Let's talk about some singles from this year. The most recent you already mentioned, Bloom, and was done with the Finnish Luna Kills. What's the like background for this collaboration and song?
When Luna Kills signed to Shoptone Records, they kind of like posted it on Instagram, and I saw the post and I was like, damn, they're really cool. Like that is a really cool band. And like I started to like follow them and listen to the music. And then we wrote this instrumental demo of Bloom, which was not finished yet. It was just like a first demo. And we had um, this idea of collaborating with like different artists on different songs. And then I listened to the demo and I was like, hey, I love this, but I think it can be a bit heavier. And I think like Luna Kills is the perfect band to write that, like to bring that heaviness in there. Cause like we can't do like I can't do that. I can't scream. And that's also like not what we want to do in all our music. So we like to bring that in with like different artists when we feel like the song needs it. And with this song, I really thought it needs it, and I thought Una Kills would be the perfect band to bring it bring it into it. So we messaged them, or I think I don't even remember if we messaged them directly or if it went like via our label because we're signed to the same label. Um, but we sent them the demo and we were like, hey, do you wanna like collaborate on this with like no vocals or anything? And they were like, hell yeah, let's do it. So um we like hopped on a call and talked about like what we wanted the song to sound like, what we thought the message would be and everything. And then they wrote like the breakdown part of the song. Um and I remember we listened to it when we were on tour and we like put it on in the car and we were all like, "Oh my God, this is this is perfect." We loved it like from the first second we heard it. Yeah. And then we sent like vocal melodies and lyrics like back and forth um until yeah, we wrapped it up. We finished it and then our producer finished the production and we sent it over to Lunar Kills and they liked it and then we put it out.
How was your experience of kind of working remotely with another band?
Interesting. mm, I mean, it was long because like they were on tour, we were on tour, like they released their album like in that time frame. So they were really busy, but so we appreciate so much that they were open to do that. Um, so it was long. It was a long back and forth. I think if we just, were able to sit together in the studio and write it in one day, we would be finished so much sooner, or it would have been finished much sooner. But yeah, it was still like we knew we could trust them, and they proved us right. So yeah, it was an interesting experience, but I think we would still prefer to um, write together in the studio.
The other single is, of course, A Wife, a Whore, also a collaboration with Pentastone. What were kind of the ideas and the workflow with this song?
With this song, I knew before I wrote the lyrics that I wanted to do the collaboration with Pentastone because I like we decided, okay, this is gonna be a like female rage song, and in the past like 1.5 years, Pentastone and us, I don't know, we've become kind of close. They're really really nice people, and especially like the singer, she's like we've been just texting back and forth and kind of exchanging our experience as like a singer, like a female singer in a rock metal band. So I knew I wanted her to be on the song because I really admire her voice and I admire the emotions that she puts into music. Like I think that's really unique, how she does that. And I knew that I wanted this anger in there. And yeah, I sent her the like we wrote the first chorus, no, the first verse, the chorus, like the first part of the bridge, like the vocals for that. And then I sent it to her with the lyrics and everything, and I asked her if she wanted to write like her own verse, and she said yes. So she wrote her own lyrics and her own melody for the verse and for the second bridge part. And we actually recorded that together. So she joined us in the studio with our producer, and she, yeah, recorded the vocals.
Then, of course, September 29. What can you tell me about this one?
That's a really personal song. It's about how my grandma um, got dementia and then died 2 years ago. And it's about that process of realizing, okay, she's not the same. She's not the same. And then when she died, she took like a little bit of me with her. So I'm not the same now either. And it's about how she was really like religious. She was Christian. And even though I don't share that faith, I kind of find peace in knowing that like that is what she wanted. Like, especially near the end, she was like, I'm excited to go home. That's what she always used to call it. Like, I'm excited to go to heaven, to go home. So I kind of find peace in that, knowing that she wasn't scared or um, hurting. Yeah.
We've been talking about the collaborations, but music-wise, what is the kind of process how you make music as a band?
We, so I don't play any instruments. So it's mostly our guitarist who writes the instrumentals. Sometimes our drummer joins, and then we write like an instrumental demo. And I take that and I write some vocals on it. and sometimes even without like lyrics, but just like melodies. Um, and then we take that demo and we go to our producer, and then we kind of, I don't know, finalize that demo. And he, like, our producer is such a good songwriter that he always has like really, really good idea to make the demo like way better. So yeah, and then we finish the instrumental part first, and then we finish the vocal melodies. And then when the lyrics aren't like finished yet, I always go like into the next room, write the lyrics, and then we record it. And this process usually takes like 1 day or no, 2 days. Usually takes like 1 day for the instrumental to be finished, and then 1 day for the vocals to be finished. So we go to our like to the studio um with one song, and it takes us 2 days to finish. Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, on October 10th comes out the extended edition of last year's album, Forever Undone. So let's start with, where did this idea come from?
Yeah, that's right. October 10th, our Forever and an Extended Edition comes out. That was an idea we had when the album came out, and we wanted to, write some songs, and we were like, okay, what kind of songs do we want to write now? Like, are we writing for the second album? What's the next step? And we realized that we didn't know what the second album was gonna sound like. Like we didn't um have the vision yet for the second album, so we didn't want to write for that album yet. And we realized, okay, we wanted to collaborate with different artists first because we wanted to gain different perspectives, different views on music, on songwriting. So we had the idea to release an EP with like 4 to 5 songs, all featuring some kind of some other artist. And then we pitched that idea to our label, Shopton Records, and they suggested, hey, instead of an EP, let's do like an extended version of the album because we think the album is so great and it deserves more attention, and that way we can bring more attention to it. And we really like that idea, so that's why we're doing this extended edition.
How was the process of, making these songs and the collaborations?
It was really long. We had actually finished most of the instrumentals back in like July last year, so like over a year ago, and like collaborating with all these artists, and finding like the right artist for the song was really long. Um, yeah, and then for example, I don't know, for September 29, we wanted to collaborate with like this one artist, and then later on they like canceled on us, which is totally fine. Like it was good reasons and everything, but like that kind of set us back and everything. And it also took a while for us to realize, okay, we don't have to collaborate. Like we can just put us September 29 by ourselves. Like that's fine. Yeah, so um, it was definitely was fun to work with all those artists, especially because like we admire them so much. Like all the artists that we work with are like bands that we listen to ourselves, like privately. So especially like the next single that comes out in September, like that band, we not only listen to them like a lot, but only like they're really good friends. So yeah, it was fun, but it was also kind of complicated, and we definitely are grateful for this experience, but maybe for like next time we will have everything a bit more scheduled and I don't know, organized, I guess.
So are you now already thinking about the next album?
Yes. Now we're currently definitely in the stage of writing our second album. We're not far yet, but we have written a bunch of demos, and we now know what we want it to sound like. Um, yeah, let's see where this goes.
Yes, of course, and of course you are doing touring, for example, with From Fall to Spring and Cyan Kicks. So do you have like any kind of idea when the next album would be coming out?
Not really, not yet, because we don't want to put ourselves under too much pressure. So that's why we like want to write, and then just as the first couple of songs are finished, we will think about laying out like a schedule. But right now, we don't, we don't want to give ourselves a deadline and then not being able to fulfill it.